Howdy guys, welcome to the cave. I'm Mark, and you're watching Blue Street Customs. Hey guys, welcome back. Well, I've spent a lot of time prepping this stuff up. Now, you didn't see me take the paint off, but all I used for that was Easy Off oven cleaner. Make sure you use it properly, use a mask, gloves, things like that. And basically everything came out fairly clean. You know, here's this. I still got sand underneath here a little bit. That's nothing. Trunk and everything came out nice. Body came out fairly clean. All right. Of course, everything else, all the rest of the parts, everything's now back to blue the way it's supposed to be. I forgot a couple pieces, but not too bad. I may still do this one yet. More of the roll cage parts and all that stuff. Firewall came out fairly good, not too bad. Reg fan shroud, front bumper. I still have to do all the motor parts and chrome pieces and things like that, but radiators, front dash, everything else. Here's the inside and the undercarriage. Came out pretty clean. This was all silver. Most of this was all black and silver. Well, once that was done, I painstakingly, I still got to do the inside of this, but I painstakingly went along with some sort of knife, sandpaper, and I've been trimming up everything because all of this stuff, whoever did it before, didn't take off any of the mold lines anywhere. And of course, then there was, as you can see, there's still a little bits of paint and stuff stuck in here. I tried to get off as much as possible. Same thing with this. This one I didn't worry about too much because I plan on hand making half of this stuff by hand and cutting all of this stuff off. So this will all get smoothed out and cleaned up better anyways. But all the roll cage, they were cleaned up. Got rid of the mold lines, sanded down, smoothed out every little nook and cranny that I could get into as much as possible. This one didn't come as clean, but I'm not going to get into all those fins. Most of this will be black and aluminum anyways. But yes, a lot of this, trying to get rid of all those mold lines and stuff in here, that was a pain. So that's where I'm at right now. Now, the other thing I'm in the process of doing is, because this is supposed to be Richard Petty's race car, 1983 Pontiac Grand Prix, this model is designed to look like his car, right? It's not meant to look like a real car from the street, right? Like it's missing a lot of stuff. For example, there are no door lines, like, your door gaps, fender gaps, anything like that. None of that is here because sheet metal for the race car. So going through pictures and stuff, what I'm doing is I'm figuring out all of this so that I can scribe everything in. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to turn this into basically a street drag car. So basically it's a factory vehicle, street legal, but they take it to the drag strip. Okay. So by doing that, I need all my door lines, all my door gaps, fender gaps, anything like that. So I'll have to scribe all of that in. All right. The trunk area is a little off, but again, this being a stock car, there's no taillights or nothing, right? So what I need to do, or what I have been doing, I find the rear bumper here. Come on, get in place. There. So, as you can see, I've got some lines on there. Okay. Focus in, camera. There we go. So as you can see, right here is where the license plate should be. This should be a backup light and a backup light. Okay. Now your reverse light, or your actual red tail lights, should be right here. Okay. If the camera would cooperate a little bit. Here, maybe this way. There we go. So this is where your tail light should be, right? And it should come out to the edge and down. They have this filled right in, straight across. So I've got to cut this fin, this little wing on the top. I got to cut out space. Then the trunk is actually cut out right here, because where the taillight sits is actually part of the inner trunk structure, right? So the trunk is actually got to be cut out on both sides. Come on, everybody sit where they're supposed to. Okay. Also, the trunk should be cut out right here, because again, the license plate, where it sits, and the rear backup lights also sit on the inner trunk structure. Okay, so the trunk actually has a notch here, comes back up, goes around, comes down, back up and across, right? That's the way the trunk lid should be. Then of course the lock should be right about here. Now, one thing they did on this car, but isn't the same as the real car, is along the side here, right about here, you can see this body line right here. There's a body line right there. This is supposed to actually kick outwards, almost on kind of about that angle, right? So to be able to do that, there's two ways I could do it. I could either build this out straight across, or I could cut this back, cut this back here, and then cut all of this up and shorten the trunk and everything else. I'm not about to do that. So to me, the easiest way is just to add a piece right across here, right, on both sides, because even the taillights are kicked out a little bit like that. But by doing so, that now puts the bumper in the wrong spot. Okay, puts the bumper in the wrong spot, because this would come out too far. So I have to actually extend the back bumper out by a little bit, which means now I've got to fill in this gap, because I'll have to bring it out to right about there somewhere. Now you can see how much it's sticking out instead of back here, right? So I got that to deal with. I'll have to modify all this. I'm going to have to cut out this piece here, this piece, and this piece. And of course, on the back end, I got to trim this out, and I got to trim this one out. Then I will have to hand make the taillights. I will have to flatten this area out. Actually, you can kind of see how this back piece here, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see how it actually kicks out a little bit? Comes down flat, and then it kind of kicks out at the bottom here, right? There you go. See how it kicks out? Well, that's the way the outside of this is supposed to be. This should actually come down and then kick out. Okay. Now, I might be able to maybe score this under here. All right. I could probably score this under here a little bit, apply a little bit of heat, and bend it out. And then only have to build up the corner piece, right? Now, cut this out. Obviously, I'd have to fill it in a little bit. but I'll have to put basically this piece down here, make sure it's all sitting in the right spots, you know. So that's what's going to happen there. This here, I still don't know what I'm going to do. I won't know until I get the motor done and everything else, where and how that's going to end up. Okay. Back windows, I'll probably take these bars out. They're not going to be needed. Now, as far as the inside, fuel cell is going to stay. I'm going to clean this up a little bit more. Firewall, I'm going to redo better. You know, I want to make everything individually out of styrene. Probably redo the pedals so that, you know, they're nicer kind of thing. So, of course, that's going to end up sitting right here. I don't remember. Yeah, it sits right there. All right. Now, as for the roll cage, I think most of it will get used. Like this piece here, this should be about here. So these pieces I'm not cleaning up because it is a street car. This stuff's getting cut out. And these pieces, I'm just going to keep these back pieces and the forward pieces. All right. Because those will align everything up. Okay. That'll end up there. These end up on here, like so. Okay. So I need these pieces. Same thing here. This piece, I think the dash sits on it. All right. So again, I need that piece. Okay. I need the halo piece. This piece. I don't think I'm going to have these little cross ones inside. Maybe one or two. I don't know. Because there's a couple of them that have to go in. All right. There's 2 or 3 of them actually. Yeah. So I don't think I'm going to put all of those in. Maybe I'll take these and turn them into door bars instead. Just like, say, what is that? Maybe a 12-point harness or a 12-point roll cage instead of a 38-point, I think it is, that NASCAR runs. Okay. Same thing back here. I may put this back in. I may not, because I kind of want to do some sort of closure in here kind of thing and close it off, you know, so that it looks more like, say, an actual street car. So if the roll cage is there, I might fill all this in. Haven't completely decided, and most of it's going to be build as I go on a whim kind of thing, and hopefully it turns out nice when it's all done. Same thing with the suspension. I mean, I got these, they comes with these crappy little coil springs, right? These here are crappy little coil springs. So I'm actually making my own coil springs. I'm going to redo all the shocks, brake lines, fuel lines, everything. So that's where I'm at this point. I've babbled on way too much. So this might end up as a video of its own. And if it does, sorry, next one is going to be a lot better. But I just wanted to show you what I've gone through to clean all this up so that I can build a vehicle for you guys. So you can see me build this. And I wanted to start with a fairly fresh build. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe, please. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram. I also have a Facebook page. I do have a Patreon. All the links for that stuff will be down in the bottom. So until next time, later.